Hey everybody, Dan with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be stop looking for the one big thing that caused TMS. So let's take a couple of deep breaths. I'm going to let you say hi to Finney. He's chilling out here. Breathe in the bravery. Exhale the fear. Breathe in the strength. Exhale the weakness. Breathe in the clarity. Exhale the doubt. So, I'm going to suggest that we stop looking for the one big thing that caused TMS. Now, for many people, as we start to learn about TMS and we connect the dots in our pain or symptom history between when we had something going on and what was going on in our life at the time, we can oftentimes find the reasons, or we can at least say, middle school I started with headaches, college I had stomach aches, by 40 I had back pain, or whatever. And we can connect the dots between these very stressful times in our lives and the onset of various symptoms. But I think a lot of people get kind of lost in the emotional discovery side of this equation, saying, well, if Sarno thinks it's this one big repressed emotion, or repressed emotions, plural, in general, then I've got to go find them. I got to figure out, what are all these emotions that are causing my symptoms today? And look, if you've had chronic pain for a while, it's very possible you've already done the emotional discovery or the emotional work, if you will, and have already connected the dots to whatever major was going on in your life at the time your symptoms kind of took off. So I think given that, spending more and more and more time looking for the one big thing, like the aha moment, like if I find that one big thing, boom, I'm going to be better automatically. I think a lot of people end up spending a lot of time doing that. Months, weeks, years, decades, really trying to do that emotional work. And sometimes I think that can even happen with psychological work, trying to overcome anxiety or depression. And so a lot of people end up going to therapy over and over and over again, exploring, revisiting traumas, doing a whole bunch of work, a whole variety of different tools and techniques to try to really get to the root of the anxiety or the depression, or in our case, the TMS pain or symptoms. And there's always a search. And the more I pay attention to this stuff, I'm starting to realize that instead of looking in the rearview mirror to try to figure it out, we can say, I'm where I am today because of my past. But does the answer or the solution necessarily lie in the past? Does it lie in some light bulb aha moment of psychological discovery? I'm not convinced that it does. Maybe for a rare few, some people go, oh, I get it. Had a big emotional outburst and the pain disappears, like a couple of the stories that Sarno wrote in his books. But I don't think that's the case. And I don't think it's something we should be spending a lot of time looking for. Because I think we end up looking for a needle in a haystack. And in some cases, we've already found the needle. We connected the dots already to major life events going on at the time things started. Or in some cases, there wasn't a particularly big needle in there. Maybe it was a whole bunch of little things that just built up and built up and built up and built up. And each one of these stressors and events and scary or dangerous situations, or even real true injuries or surgeries or things you've had happen medically throughout your life, has taught your nervous system to become more and more and more and more on guard or vigilant. And so maybe you just hit a tipping point with some major life events, and with an already heightened vigilant nervous system, it kind of overflowed the central nervous system. We started to experience pain. And so I think it can be less of a huge psychological thing and more of a 1,000 different circumstances that have just built up over time, and our nervous system is just too vigilant. The brain's trying to protect us. The brain is always trying to protect us. It's not here to punish us. It's not, our brain's not the problem. The brain is just seeking to keep us safe. And it's become over-vigilant and overprotective. Kind of like the overprotective parents who don't want their kids to go out and hang out with some friends because they're afraid something bad will happen. And so that kid gets smothered, and before you know it, that creates all sorts of problems. Your brain is just kind of overprotecting you. And unfortunately, the method used to keep you safe is called pain. Anytime there's a perceived danger that the brain feels the need to protect you from, whether it be emotional situations, stress, thoughts, physical movement for sure, right? The belief that you've got a bum hip or bad shoulder or, a chemical imbalance in your brain or a bad back. The brain's going to utilize pain as a warning signal to go, hey, stop whatever you're doing. So I'm not convinced it's one big thing. What I find is more and more important isn't to go looking for that needle in the haystack, because you may have already found it, or there may not have been a needle in the first place. But I think what's more important is to focus on the now, the present, and say, what do I need to do to take this nervous system that's up here and all staticky and, buzzing, and bring it down and cool it off. And so I like to think that with consistent messages of safety, we're going to be able to teach the brain, not heal anything, but teach the brain to calm down, to settle down. And with the consistency and those consistent messages of, hey, I'm good, the brain can settle down and turn off the pain. Because when the brain gets the message that there's really no danger, it had been operating based on well-meaning but misinformation, the brain will turn it off. And it does pretty reliably. The key is consistently responding calmly to the pain or the symptoms. And I talked about the 5 F's in yesterday's video. And a lot of people said, oh yeah, fear is a big deal for me. Oh yeah, fear, freak out, and fixing. Because so many of us really are in a hurry. We want to get this pain gone quickly. So we try to fix. And if you're doing that, you're basically coming from a belief system that says, I'm broken and there's something that needs to be fixed in the first place. So what if there's nothing to fix? And we just simply want to calm the brain down so the brain, which controls everything, can calm the nervous system down. I think those messages of safety are way more important than looking for and continuing to search for that one big aha psychological moment that turned all this stuff on. Because frankly, if you've had pain for a lot of years, you may have already come to grips with or handled or processed those heavy emotions from that emotional experience that may have been prevalent at the time the symptoms started. But since the pain or the symptoms started, You've gotten sucked into the medical system. You've become medicalized and maybe even traumatized by the medical system. You've become more fearful and focused on the symptoms. And you've gone from treatment to treatment to treatment. Nothing really working for you. Our lives have shrunk from, big, all-encompassing living life to, for some of us, shrinking. Many of us not working, not seeing friends, not leaving the house much. Some people even bedridden. And so that big aha thing that may have been the tipping point of 1,000 different things, but that one big tipping point, you may already have dealt with that. And so let's stop looking in the rearview mirror and say, what do I need to do now, today, to teach my brain that I'm okay today and moving forward? Yes, we are the way we are because of our past. But now we have an opportunity. Every day we wake up, we can say, what do I need to do to teach myself that I'm safe now in the present and moving forward? And look, I get it. The world can be a scary place. I'm not suggesting that there's no risk in life. Life is risk. They are one and the same things. But as far as your body goes, if you've done the assessment and it's TMS, your body's fine. Emotions are safe. You're safe in those emotions. Thinking is even safe. So within the things that are within our control, our body, our emotions, our thinking, that's where I say consistent messages of safety matter. We can't make the world a safe place, whether it be politics, pandemics, God knows what going on in the world today. It's a pretty crazy place. I don't mean safety at that, high level. I mean safety within the things that are within our control. Our bodies, our emotions, our thoughts. We're safe in those things. And once the brain gets that message, it can turn off the symptoms and the pains. So, please stop looking for the one big thing. Maybe there is one, but if you've been at this work for a little while already, you've probably already identified the one big thing. And maybe it might be a better opportunity for you to shift your focus from looking in the rearview mirror and saying, all right, what do I need to do now, today, to teach myself that I'm safe in the present? So, let's say good night to Finn. And I guess, there he is. So, love you guys and gals. We will see you tomorrow. Hope you have a great Monday.